Hi, Rod. Good afternoon. Unexpected game off for you. Any fringe, or I should say, any silver linings to that, even though everyone wants to play? I know healing could happen without a game. Anything else that it gives you opportunity to do?
Yeah, if there is, obviously I think everybody was disappointed we didn't get a chance to play. Um, Looking forward to it. Anytime you get a chance to compete against, was probably assumed the best team in the conference then at the time. You want to take your swing. So I know the kids are disappointed, but at the same time, if there is a positive lining out of it, we have been able to get guys even more healthy, rested. So try to make a run here in the next couple of weeks.
Presumably, you're preparing the whole week for Ohio State up till you learned it. But is there any opportunity to maybe add some things in because of this game off, and maybe put some new tools in the toolbox, play wise, that is?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always an opportunity possibly for that. At the same time, we're constantly looking how can we continue to keep bettering ourselves, make ourselves better, fundamentally, schematically, the whole 9 yards. So we constantly try to evaluate where can we get better, and then move forward from there. So yeah, there's always a possibility.
Iowa's good at taking the ball away, especially with interceptions. What's in the secret sauce over there for them that you see?
You're 100% right. We got to take care of the football. Met with the quarterbacks this morning, and that was the point of emphasis, is that we have to take care of the football. We did a great job with that against Nebraska, and our defense did a tremendous job taking the ball away and giving us opportunities. When you get that type of formula going in a football game, then you can win a lot of games, or let's be able to compete for them. So, that's the goal again, is to make sure we, protect the program each and every time we touch the football. And that'll be a chore because these guys are really good at taking it away as well.
When they're good at hawking the ball like that, does that steer your game plan at all?
Not as much steer your game plan as much just make sure you just re-emphasize and continue to emphasize ball security. It's something that we try to work on in practice, but at the same time, we're going to constantly keep talking about it, and because it's a huge point of emphasis this week.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
Otter than Joey.
Hey, Rod, I know you mentioned about the positives of having a week off to, kind of work some things in, but do you think about maybe the detriment of not having the week, kind of stagnating the momentum that you guys had over the win at Nebraska, or does that not come into play with you?
Well, you hope it doesn't. I mean, that's always that that argument. Do you want to keep playing, or do you want to take time off when you get on a streak? So, I think it can go either way. More importantly, like I said, our kids were disappointed we didn't get to play. So I don't think they're happy about that. I just said the positive out of it was we can, get a couple more days of rest and try to get some guys that are banged up, maybe healed back even more so. So kids are going about it the right way. We'll keep practicing hard and try to keep putting them in the best position and see where it goes from there.
I guess Brandon knows firsthand about what it's like to be out because of COVID. But, obviously with, you guys have had limited cases as opposed to Ohio State, which apparently has some more. What could that, maybe look like? I mean, I know you can't look at it and visualize it yourself, but multiple cases affecting more players, like 20 or 30, like what's going on up at Minnesota too. So just what could that, be like if, you have a massive outbreak?
Well, for what we experienced was bad enough. And obviously their situations are worse than what we had. Ours was people out with the contact tracing as well. So it knocked out, I can't tell you how many it was off the top of my head. But it's not as many as what they have right now. So, we all know that, we were holding our breath because if you get one more guy injured in certain positions, you're playing guys that's never took a snap there, or you're moving guys to fill in voids. I mean, it was getting hairy. It was getting close, getting scary. So no, I couldn't imagine what they're going through, and I'm assuming that's why they're pausing their programs and doing what they're doing, because the numbers just won't allow it. And then from the safety protocols too, you got to be safe. You got to think about these kids and their health and their futures and stuff. So you got to make sure you're doing everything right.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joey, then Jeremy.
Hey, Rod, for you personally, what does a college football coach do with an unexpected Saturday afternoon and evening free? Like, how did you spend that time?
Good question. Well, one, you kind of, you take about 5 minutes and catch your breath, just kind of pause, and then you start on the next opponent. So we started right on Iowa for that day. We got to work early on them and got a day's early extra work. So just trying to be as prepared as you can. And it doesn't stop, Joey. I mean, it's, they better cancel the game. It's on to the next one. As long as there's a game to be played next week, there's work to be done. That's how you go about it.
And then I think, the momentum was kind of alluded to, but it seems like this is kind of, any game you miss is unfortunate, but you guys were coming off 2 in a row. Offense was really, really clicking against Nebraska. Is that a further gut punch that for at least a week you have to hit pause on that, that train that's kind of moving there? Yeah,
it was a deal where, you want to try to sustain as much momentum as possible. And the way you do that is you play. You continue to play. But at the same time, you're going against, Ohio State was being a very worthy opponent. Iowa's the same way, a very worthy opponent. Then you got Northwestern behind them. So we're going to get tested. We'll see how much momentum we can continue to keep carrying, how much execution we can do, because we'll get tested. But that's what we want. You want to be in those type of games to where you can measure yourself and see how good you really are. And we'll find out.
And then Lovey said Palcho had season-ending surgery. What has he meant to you personally? And then, he had 40 straight starts to this offensive line and really to the entire offense.
Yeah. It breaks your heart for the young man because not only is he a really good football player, but he's just as good as a person. And the University of Illinois and our football program is extremely, extremely, extremely important to Alex Palczewski. And it means the world to him. So whenever he can't partake or whenever he can't help his brothers, I mean, it hurts him. It hurts him bad. And he takes it to heart. So you hurt for the kid. He's one of the, in my opinion, he's one of the pieces of glue that we have up there that keep us going. And, he's a leader on our football team. And we're going to miss him. But at the same time, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. They're going to still spot the ball and play the next play. So, Julian Pearl's got to be ready to roll, which he's been playing well for the last couple of weeks. Been happy with that. But we sure do miss Palcho as well.
Thanks, Rod.
Hey, Rod. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. Obviously, Iowa's always got a good front. But last year it felt like you guys took a big strides as an offensive line group last year. What did you see out of your group last year against Iowa, and how has that continued with your front five?
Yeah, I think last year we was able to establish some run game against them. Whereas 2 years ago, we ran the ball, but, it was just a train wreck. We got so far behind so early and kind of got us out of our rhythm, what we wanted to do. Last year, we was able to still be able to run the football, and I thought we did a decent job. Could have been better. Was watching film today, just the last 2 days. There's so many plays we left out that we got to, we can't do again. We can't make mistakes against a good team like Iowa. So we got to be sharp. But I thought, our guys proved that they belong against a very good defensive football team. We just got to make sure we clean up some things and execute at times where we didn't in the past in order for us to have a shot at this game this weekend.
I know that game last year didn't go the way Brandon wanted on multiple fronts, turnovers and the non-target, I guess. But what has been your focus with him, after probably his best game with you? What have you guys built on in the last week or so with him?
Well, just continue to build on what he's accomplished and what else is still out there and how else he can continue to improve. Just continuing to study defenses, understanding how to attack them, how they're trying to attack you, what they're doing. I think the more he understands that, the more his decision-making becomes better as far as where and when to deliver the football at times. So much of our offense is quarterback read based. There's times where, the ball's being spit out on a throw or a screen or something. That's just built into the system. That's the quarterback made a decision whether to hand the ball off or run the football, to throw it, based upon how the defense is playing. So the more he understands how defenses are playing you, the better his decision-making become. And I thought last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, he was really good. He was on top of his game on Saturday and made great decisions and then delivered the football with accuracy as well.
Just to follow up on that quick, how much of what's his evolution been like with that, given that he got here so late and had that disruption this season?
Who you talking about? You talking about Brandon?
Yeah, just the decision making, the reads and all.
Yeah. Well, we all know the first game, none of us were good. Coaches, players, none of us. That was one you'd like to have back. We just didn't. That wasn't us. So from that point on, to me, he's been nothing but a steady incline, and he played Saturday the way I've been expecting him to play. But you got to remember now, that's his second game this year. I just think that, he's putting the work in. He's doing an extra. He's sticking around, he's watching film with us as a staff, probably more so than he's ever did. He's preparing himself, in my opinion, like a championship quarterback needs to. He's doing the little things on his own, which to me, I don't want to say on his own, but he's taking the extra time to meet with me, to meet with our staff, doing the little things that probably wasn't happening before, but now he is.
Great. Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
Rod, if I could add on to that, just can you, if this is his last home game, can you talk about the relationship that you and Brandon have been able to develop and what that was like going through the process with him, when he was a transfer and trying to figure out where he wanted to go and how quickly that manufactured, and then what he's been able to do since he's gotten here with you and just have been able to build a relationship with the team and be a leader and be a captain?
Yeah, I think last year he was trying to feel his way through. He was the new guy. Even though he was an older guy, he was the new guy on the team, and he was placed in a position where you're in charge of the football team and you don't have a lot of relationships. So you're kind of feeling your way through. He's doing, he did himself. He did what he needed to do, and thought he was playing his best football towards the end of the year. But I think now that he's a year in or more, he's developed some, I would like to think, some long-lasting friendships and, some bonds with our team. And I don't want to say he's a different person. He's not. Brandon's been the same level-headed guy since he's been here. But I think he's more outgoing. He's more, approachable. Not that he wasn't before, but I'm just talking about with the guys on the football team, because I think he feels more home. And you know how it is when you get comfortable with something, you tend to I don't want to say you had a guard, but you kind of let people in and they get to realize who you are and get to know you better. So I think that's helped. And that's helped the relationship with our football team, because I think guys do look up to him. And, he's not a rah-rah type of guy, but he does lead by example. He leads by his work ethic. He leads by, showing up every day and going to work. And, as far as our relationship, to me, I think it's been really good. He's come in and provided something that we needed. We needed an older presence there to help these young guys to continue to develop. I think he's definitely did that. And, and I've also given him a chance to kind of finish up what he didn't get a chance to at Michigan. And that's, finish his career on a high note as far as playing and proving people that he's a very, very good Division I quarterback.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach. I'm curious what you've seen on film from the Iowa defense. They've been doing virtually the same thing for a long time, not really trying to fool anybody. But a team like that, does it not necessarily make it easier to scout them? But how do you approach that when you're playing a team that they've been playing the same scheme for 20 years and you got a lot of film to look at?
Yeah, they are who they are. They know what they're doing. They're extremely well coached. They play extremely hard. They're strong. They're physical. They're just a very, very good football team. And Coach Ferentz had a great program for years now. He wouldn't have won as many games they have if the culture and everything that he's laying to kids, they're not bought into. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny. You can go back and watch them 2 years ago play us, last year, to watch film of the opponents this year. They have a system, they run it, and they're damn good at it. And they got them, and they're going to make you out execute them. Is what it comes down to. You have to out execute your system, have to out execute their system, head to head. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, it's a physical team too. I did talk about the
Oh, yeah.
challenges of that. You know, they're going to try to hit you and knock you around.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can match them physically on Saturday?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think not just them. I think our guys. We're an older bunch. You know, I feel confident that we should be able to match up against just about anybody we play, in my opinion. Now, does that mean you're going to win? Does that mean that bad things don't happen? No, it can. I mean, that's the ebb and flow of the game. But, you know, man to man, I think our guys should be able to line up against anybody in this conference and go toe to toe and compete with them. I mean, and because we're at that age of our guys, it's been around long enough. They've played enough football. It's that we should feel confident that we can go toe to toe with people. Now, whether you win or whether you finish games off right, that all depends on your execution, taking care of the football, doing all the little things you have to do. But from a physicality standpoint, you know, we should be able to stand go toe to toe. It's not going to be easy by no means, because they're a tremendous and physical football team. But, you know, I expect us to be just as physical.
You know, last question. If you look at the stats, you guys have been actually making quite a few long plays from scrimmage, done a lot like 2018, long running plays, some passes down the field. What's been the key to that, and how big has that been in getting this offense going and hitting on those big plays?
Yeah, one, credit the kids. You know, they've made some plays. We've inserted some guys like Chase Brown, who's made some long runs. Mike Epstein all of a sudden busts a couple of long runs. You know, Josh has made a couple real nice catches and long plays through the air. Brandon got back and, you know, felt good. Isaiah just being Isaiah. So, you know, there's an influx of talent, some different guys. I think that's helped. And then at the same time, I just think that, you know, we're getting better as we play. And I think our guys are starting to feel it a little bit. So hopefully we can continue that for the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, thanks for doing this. I know you didn't recruit a lot of these seniors, but you did kind of talk to a lot of the transfers like Brandon, like Josh. As it's senior day, what does it mean to see these kids play their last game at Memorial Stadium?
Well, I mean, it's special because, you know, I've been along on the ride, so to speak, for the last 3 years with them. Whenever, you know, they've experienced a lot of highs and lows. So it's always good to be able to finish a journey with a special group of guys that I'll remember for the rest of my life. You know, the impact they've had on me is something that, you know, I'll take with me forever. And, you know, I'm just excited to be a part of it. You know, I think good things happen to good people, and these guys are good people. So hopefully we can finish this thing up right.
You said that this group of players had a large impact on you. Can you kind of explain what that might have been, or what maybe you've learned from them in the last couple of years?
Perseverance. When things don't always go your way or the way it's planned, I've watched the work they put in. I can't explain sometimes some of the things that's happened for the bad in terms of maybe why we didn't play as well at certain times, but I watched them persevere all the following week, the next day, the next play, just keep fighting. And that's what life's all about. You know, you don't get everything done. You're not everything's gonna come the way you expect it to be. And how you handle the adversity, how you handle the current situation says a lot about you. And these guys have never given up. They've fought their ass off. And, you know, I think they're trying to finish this thing up the right way and the way they want it. So forever, I will always remember that, because to me, it's about refusing to give up, and they never have.
Thanks, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rod, we talked last week about the guys playing with emotion and how much you enjoyed to see that, how much you thought that helped out. Considering that that emotion would presumably still be there being on a 2-game win streak, and then just the recent results against Iowa and how they've not really gone your guys' way, do you feel like there's a lot of positive momentum, a lot of positive emotion that these guys can have going into this game?
Yeah, you hope so. You want to, once again, to me, football's a hard game. It's the hardest sport in sports, right? You grind your tail off in practice. Practice isn't always fun. It beats you down, and you do all that training and everything 365 days out of the year for 12, 13 opportunities. That's what it is. And so when you get on a streak, you get a little momentum going. You want to ride it and keep as long as you can. So that's, to me, that's where we're at, and hopefully we can continue to finish it up that way. But it's just proud of these guys, man. Just proud of these guys finishing this thing up, and like I said, hopefully we can continue to ride that way. But I think we're playing our best football right now. We've got our guys back. We're for the most part healthy, for the most part. And we need to go out and continue to keep playing our best football.
We talked about Iowa's defense, especially the physicality. As far as establishing the run game in this game, what do Chase and Mike bring to the table that you feel is going to allow them to defeat that physicality? I know it depends on the offensive line as well, but what do those guys offer that's going to allow them to kind of offset some of Iowa's physicality, perhaps?
You talking about our offensive line, or are you talking about?
I'm talking more so about your running backs, about Chase and Mike.
Oh, the running backs. Gosh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, well, we there's only one way to take on physicality. That's with physicality. There's no other way. You can't beat your way around it. You can't fake it. You got to meet it head on and go right at it. And our running backs have got to be able to do the same thing. They got to run hard. They got to run with anger, with mean intentions. When we run, there's no easy answer to it. There's no easy way around it. You're going into a fist fight, and it's what it becomes, a legal fist fight, I should say, not literally, but to knock down, drag out. It's us against them, and what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. So you try to impose your will, and you guys got to buck up, man up, and we'll continue to stress that to our kids all this week.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rod. That's it for today.
Thanks. All right, guys. Appreciate it.